it's Melissa from Melissa's Creations, and I am doing something a little different today. I have some scraps of paper that I want to use in a card, and I have a rough idea of what I'd like to do, but I haven't really actually put one together. So I'm going to do that with you guys today, and I want you to leave me a comment and let me know what your honest opinion is of this card. Don't worry about hurting my feelings, just make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you liked and what you didn't like about the card. It would really help me bring some amazing videos for you guys that you just love to watch. So here we go. I am using the Label Me Pretty stamp set today, which coordinates with the Pretty Label Punch, and I am going to be cutting that out, I think, out of the gold glimmer paper. And I'm using this Thank You for Caring stamp right here, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to stamp in Berry Burst because, of course, I love that color. And I'm going to use this really cute embossing folder. I don't know, oh, there we go. You can see the heart pretty well on that side. This is the Sweetheart Textured Impressions embossing folder, and we're going to emboss the card today. For my card base, I have chosen a basic gray. And then I also have a scrap of Whisper White to do my stamping, and I have a couple scrap pieces of the Berry Burst, which I have used this punch, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll put it on the screen for you guys. I used this to punch out 2 of the Berry Bursts out of scrap paper, and then I cut 1 out of our gorgeous gold foil. So pretty. So like I said, I just have kind of like a rough idea of what I want to do. So let's just dive in and see what happens. I am going to start by stamping my thank you. And I'm using my Berry Burst ink. We'll just ink that up and stamp that right down here. Now, I did kind of play around with an idea before I started filming, and as you can see, I punched out right there, but I didn't like how it came out, and I'll show you at the end of the video, but I just wasn't really digging on the design, so I decided to just turn the camera on and see what happened. So that was a 1 3/8 inch circle punch I just used on that. I'm going to take my Pretty Label Punch and get that beautiful glimmer paper punched out. I'm going to take some mini glue dots. This is the best way to adhere something to glimmer paper. I think the glue dots just stick really, really nicely to the glimmer paper. I'm saying that now as it won't stick to my Whisper White cardstock, but there we go. Just get a couple of them on there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside, set this aside, and grab my bone folder so I can crease my cardstock. Standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. So I'm going to fold it in half, line up those edges, and crease that score. All right, so I'm going to take that Sweetheart embossing folder, and I really want the heart to be as high as possible on the card, I'm thinking. So you can see that this embossing folder is 6 inches wide, and I don't want it to emboss the back of my card. So how do you think I'm going to be able to accomplish what I want? So I want the heart as high as possible, which it looks like that is going to be as high as I can get it. And I also want the heart centered between the front of the card. Now here is my line, the middle of my card, which is right here. So I think that is going to be pretty centered. That looks pretty good to me. So I'm gonna hold that there, and I'm gonna bring in the Big Shot. So in order to only emboss where I want to, I have the regular Big Shot platform with no adapter, one of my cutting plates. I'm going to set my embossing folder right down. Now it is just exactly wide enough to fit through the machine. You wanna make sure that you have it completely in line with everything so that it doesn't catch or damage the folder at all. So I'm going to take that other cutting plate and I'm going to slip it in, and I am actually going to line up the edge of this cutting plate with the middle of my card. So that is right there. Okay, so here is where the bottom plate is, and then here is where my embossing folder starts, and here is the middle of my card, which I'm lining up the top plate with. And by doing that, when we run this through, it should only emboss to the point where the top plate ends, and that gives us our embossing exactly to the middle of our card. Okay, now that we have our card embossed, I'm going to give it that one more crease so it lays a little more flat. There we go. And then I'm going to bring in my other little pieces. Now, I kind of was thinking that I was going to put this in the middle and that I would kind of, I don't know, do some kind of like a little award ribbon almost type thing underneath it. I was thinking that might look kind of cute. So I'm going to take my mini glue dot and put one on the back of that. Layer that on top like this. Put one on the back here. And then layer the other berry burst on the bottom like this. And then let's put one on there and angle it like so. And then I'm going to grab some scrap dimensionals, and I need to cut a couple more. Oh wait, here we go. So put one there, put one over here, and yeah, I do need to actually cut a little more off of my scrap pieces, and I'm going to put it right in the middle so that it kind of goes from these pieces onto my label, so it kind of holds it all together. And I am going to put one more on the top, I think, one more small one, just so it holds both of those, the top and bottom, up really nicely. It pops it up. Okay, so let's take these off and see what it looks like. Okay, so there is our super simple card. Now, I'm still trying to figure out if I like it or if I'm not quite fond of it. I mean, putting this here, it kind of covers up the heart shape behind, but I don't have really any other heart shapes that I could have used on this card. So, you know, I'm just kind of playing around with design, seeing how I like it. Now, here's the first card that I came up with. And again, I still can't figure out if I'm a fan of it or not. I'm just not sure. So this is the first card that I kind of played around with today, and you can see, you know, this part's the same, and I have a couple of these going on, but I have many more on this card. It's kind of almost like a sunburst effect, but you know, I'm just not sure. So I'd really love it if you guys gave this video a thumbs up. If you liked one of these cards, subscribe to the channel so that you can be notified when I upload new videos, and please, in the comments, leave me a comment. Let me know if you even like one of these designs, if you like one better than the other, and what your overall thoughts were on this concept, and what your ideas are that could improve one of these card designs. I would love to see your items. If you are on Instagram, make sure that you tag me at Kre8tions. I'd love to see what you come up with. You can also visit me online at melissascreations.com, email me, or Facebook me. You can get me at facebook.com/Kre8tions. Lots of different ways to get in touch with me and let me know what design you like or what design you would have done yourself. Thank you so much for joining me today for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.